Hello, welcome, happy Friday. How's it going? 12th hedgehog. Why 12th? Is that because you're not first? You are first. It makes no sense. What you're saying is making no sense. Hello. It's Friday. It's a chill out stream. I need a chill out stream. I've had a stressful last 24 hours, so we're going to listen to some very chill, borderline yoga-esque vibes while I paint up a really gross Necrotic Barbarian. So yes, and before I get ready to drive to somewhere, to Wales and back. I said somewhere to Wales and back over the weekend, for something that hasn't been announced yet. So I think I might just announce it. But I'm uncertain whether it's my place to announce it, but I feel like I should announce it. So yes, Necrotic, is that like erotic but for necks? Yes, it is. Plus pus and disease. I don't know. How are you, Boo Boo? Right. There it is. This is one of the Necrotic Barbarians, available on alchemistmodels.com, my web store. You can find the link to this, not this specific model, but the unit it is from. They come in a unit of 5, and you can find that link down below in the description. Exclamation link, exclamation model, neither of which work. Oh wow, no, okay. Currently painting something. Haha. Oh, maybe I should sort that out. Let's go to Streamlabs. Necrotic. Necrotic. There we go. Maybe let's sort that out now. Boop. Not that, like, you're the only one who use that kind of thing, so... Hey, Valreth, how's it going? Cloudbot, commands, model, edit. Yes, currently painting that one. Boom, there we go. No, Necrotic is what they call Necron Adult Art. I mean, both work. Both absolutely work.
Hello there.
Oh my god, it works! Yay! See, the commands still do work. They do still work. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Right, do I know what I'm doing with this model? No. No, I don't. I don't know whether I want to go... I kind of want to just do traditional Nurgle. I'm open to ideas from the chat. Do they know it's Christmas time? It's not. It's not. It's not. It's March. It's March. Don't be that person. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to turn this light down for a second. There we go. Nurgle boy, AOS Nurgle boys. Yeah, pretty much. I think I'm gonna go like traditional green, like pale green armor. I'm gonna do something slightly different with the flesh. Make it like it's an early on necrotic plague. Nurgle the Rainbow. That sounds a lot filthier than it is. That Nurgle the Rainbow sounds a lot filthier than it is. Alright, okay, let's just start. Should we just start? I feel like we should just start. I'm going to go with Peachy Flesh first off. I'm going to go from there. I'm also going to hit go live on the TikToks. Right. Boop. Allow TikTok to access nearby devices. What? No, not now. Shush. Okay. Hitting in with Peachy Flesh first off. More light. There we go. How was everyone's week? What did people get up to? I'm going to go quite thick with the paint just to make sure it covers well. Sorry, Duncan, no thin coats here. One thick coat. One thick coat. Maybe that should be my paint brand. Should I do a paint brand, just call it One Thick Coat? And I'm sure that is not the first time that joke's been made. Welcome in everyone over on TikTok. How's it going? What am I painting today? This is a Necrotic Barbarian. This is one of the models available on my web store. They come in a unit of 5 and they're very, very fun. And I printed out the other day and it's just sat looking at me ever since. So yes, that's what we're painting today. I'm going to try and get it done in one stream, which is about 2 hours, which I feel like is possible. I think it's possible. I need everyone's positivity though. Hedgehog, we do consider you one thick coat, but see, that would be an insult, but you spelt it with 2 C's, and now I'm blushing. Damn. Okay, so we're gonna go. We're hitting him with peachy flesh at the moment to start off, and then we're gonna go and shade in with lots of other thinned down speed paints for things like bruising and infection. So we're going to use lots of purples, lots of greens. Oh wait, are those fingers or is that glove? I think that's fine. I don't think that's a glove or a gauntlet. I think we're good. We are good. Thank you very much for all the likes already. Much appreciated. Welcome in. I hope you've all had a lovely week. We've got a bit of a chill stream. I'm over on YouTube as well, where you have a slightly better camera. And you've got the chat over there, so if you fancy coming and joining there, feel free. Please do feel free. I had every intention in releasing another tutorial this week, but one thing led to another, and I didn't. Long story short, I have bits and pieces filmed. I just got swamped by the shop, which is very, very nice. That means the business is making money, but also I have less time to concentrate on things like content, which is annoying. But what I can say is this Sunday I'm gonna be on someone else's YouTube channel. Now I don't have a specific time, but I do know it's going to be Sunday afternoon. And Sunday afternoon, I'm going to be over on Iron Warrior Cosplay's channel, and we're doing a kind of Q&A and a sit-down chat. It's part of Season 5 of Iron Warrior Cosplay's content, where he gets a load of different content creators and just gets them into the studio for a chat. That's what I'm assuming we're doing. That's what everyone else is doing. So... this has kind of been confirmed. I'm definitely going. Like, I'm going to the location. I'm going to the studio. It does mean I'm driving to Wales and back. I'm doing a lot of driving this weekend. I feel like I've done that a lot over the last month. What time? I don't know what time. I think around 2-3 o'clock. I think, but that's not been confirmed. Iron Warrior hasn't announced it officially, but it's Friday, it's 2 days away. I feel like I can. I feel like that's a thing. So yeah. I will put various links in the Discord and on social media and things like that. Thank you very, very much for all these likes. Almost up to 1,000 already. Hey Chael, how's it going? I've got YouTube and TikTok chat going at the same time, so if you're confused that I'm answering different people and you're like, oh, I can't see that word, or I can't see that sentence, what is you talking about? That's why. So thank you very much for all the follows and the likes. And the shares as well. All of those really do help push the content out to new people, so thank you very, very much. Right, okay. I think that's all of the skin covered, I want to say. Hey, Berserk, how's it going? Necrotic Barbarian. Please, I had to check. I thought, oh man, have I spelt it wrong, or that would be tremendously stupid. But no, I think we're good. So I kind of need this to dry now. Dry quicker. What we can do? What can we do? What can we do? We can put some skull. We can put some paint on the skull there. And we're gonna use bony matter for that. Wow, what paint use for skin? So this is Speed Paint 2.0 Peachy Flesh. There we go. Swipe right for more comments. What? What? That's really cool. Okay, that's a weird way of doing it. I don't like it. I'm still getting used to TikTok Live. But, yeah, Speed Paint 2.0 Peachy Flesh. That was just one coat over white. It's crucial that you use white paint as an undercoat, or a very, very light paint at least. Berserk, how you doing? I just finished printing out your big shark. That is currently draining. Oh no, it's actually cured. It's actually cured. So I need to tally up the other sharks that I've done, the smaller ones, and then I will send it all out to you. But not long now. Did you see a YouTube clip I sent by the... I saw it, I haven't watched it yet. I will watch that probably this evening. Thank you very much. 1,500 likes in the first 7 minutes of the stream. That's insane. Thank you very much. Mark, that's amazing. I'm new to model painting. I've been using Bone Wraith and it didn't look good at all. As in the Bone Wraith undercoat from Games Workshop. Yeah, so when they brought out, if that's what you're talking about, when they brought out contrast paints, they it's what I will say, it's quite yellow on this screen. It's got a bit more pinkness to it. My phone camera doesn't quite pick up the colours correctly, but you get a general idea. If you want to see them more correctly, then head over to the YouTube channel where I'm streaming right now. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so when Contrast came out and they were like, yeah, you can use Wraithbone or whatever, Grey Seer, I think? Yeah, Grey Seer. To get a warm or cold tone. And it's great, that's a great idea. I just felt like it's better just to use white because all of the colour just pops. And then you can put filters over it and things like that. I think they use Wraithbone and Grey Seer, like that grey and beige colour or cream colour, to kind of not monopolize is the wrong thing, but to keep it in-house rather than just saying you can use white spray, because then you can just use any white. I mean, you could use any cream, but it's harder to find than just white spray. Anyway, I use a white base coat, and I feel like it's much better for contrast or speed paints or anything like that, or express or whatever the other ones are. Berserk, yeah, Tiberius has a megalodon aboard his ship. That's very cool. All right, okay, I need to watch that video that you sent me. Man, space sharks they're just cool. They are just cool. Right, I need this skin to dry. So in the meantime, we will just paint this skull, and we're going to use speed paint bony matter for that. We don't need a lot of paint for this because it's only having one coat. What I will say, I've noticed, and I say this pretty much every stream, but I've noticed about the speed paints is they go on a lot lighter than they dry. They dry so much darker than you would have thought, especially things like Gravelord Grey. That goes on almost transparent, and then it dries like a really dark grey. So it's a process of faith when working with speed paints. Why is it rattling when you shake a bottle of paint? So that is an agitator. So you know how after a while, if you just leave a bottle of paint or a pot of paint kind of still, and you just leave it without touching it for a couple of weeks or even a couple of days, it starts to separate. An agitator is a little little metal ball. Sometimes you have two in there, sometimes you have one, and they pop it in there with the paint. You've got to make sure it's the right kind of metal, otherwise it starts rusting. But yeah, you just agitate it up and it just mixes the paint in there. It's really useful. It's something that Games Workshop do not do. But speed paint, and there's another brand that is very good for doing it. I think it is, yes, Procryl from Monument Hobbies. Sound like a spray can? I mean, it's the same thing. Same thing. They've got spray cans have got agitators in them. It's the same principle. An agitator like Hedgehog. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Hey, Pillow, how's it going? Okay, so that's the bone colour, and how quick was that? That was just one coat with bony matter, and that'll dry a little darker as well. I really need this skin tone to dry quicker. I mean, could we do that? I just know as soon as I start putting like shading with interesting colours, it will go onto the armour, onto the cloth and things like that. So there's not much point in tidying up at the moment because I know it's going to get more messy. Hairdryer, I know. First of all, that's really annoying for everyone listening. However, yes, it's a very good idea. Also, I'm bald, so I don't actually own a hairdryer. So there's multiple reasons why that very good suggestion would not work, unfortunately. So what I'm gonna do, actually, we are gonna be a little bit more careful with the shading. So I might just do the touch up now. So I've got a little dry palette, little painter's palette off to my right here. And that's what I would say mix my paints. That's why I just place my paints on and thin them down should I need to. With the washers and the contrast paints that I use, the speed paints, I very rarely water them down. I might water the ones down for the like the bruising and the diseased skin. That I think we're going to water it down a little bit because I don't want to tint the skin too much. But what is everyone working on at the moment? Have you got any hobby projects that you'd like to tell me about? If you have any questions about the methods or really anything kind of painting related, then please feel free to ask. And we're just going to go in with, this is Procryl Bold Titanium White. Very, very good white paint. Great for doing touch-ups with this kind of painting. This is also just a chill out Friday stream, so if you had a stressful week and you just want to watch some paint dry, then throw up your feet, put something comfy on, and watch the paint flow. Or dabble on. If you head over to my YouTube channel, we've got some music playing as well, some nice chill vibes. And you've got a slightly better camera as well. This looks really promising, thank you very much. Okay, yeah, so we are just touching up the white paint here, ready for the next stage. I'm also waiting for the skin tone to dry a little bit. Thank you very much for the follows and the likes, guys. Much appreciated. Berserk, working on my sanity. Insurance stuff is driving me nuts. Oh, what? From your from the thing you sent me? Yeah. Is it being resolved? Is it in a good way, or is it just annoying? This brush is absolutely fantastic for when I'm using the speed paints, because it really holds the paint together, or the paint holds the brush together. But as soon as I start using normal acrylics, it does tend to split very quickly, which is slightly annoying. Can you please be sure to post a short look when it's done? I'm only on my lunch break right now. Yeah, I can do a very quick 360 when it's done. That's not a problem. I'm trying to get into the habit of posting minute long, or longer than a minute, just because I'm in the creator program now, and anything under a minute isn't eligible. However, that being said, yes, I should start posting shorter stuff, just like quick 360s. They don't do very well, but they don't take long, so I don't mind doing them. When I say they don't do well, they get absolutely annihilated by TikTok's algorithm, unfortunately. I'm the best kind of potato, the agitator. Boil 'em, mash 'em, stick you in a stew. Zerk, I have a new car, not heard anything from insurers, but the finance peeps are saying I need to pay the... Ooh, yeah, okay. Yeah, that's a stressful situation. Hopefully insurance pays up soon. Aries, I don't paint minis or do anything that uses them, but I want to paint some just because they're so cool. They are very, very cool. They are very, very cool. Do it. Get into the hobby. It's absolutely fantastic. It's very, very zen. I know a lot of people, including myself, who it's quite meditative for. That's a hard word to say. And you do kind of really get into the zone, and it's one of those things that you can just lose hours to in a good way. And you can just let all your worries flow away, and you're not thinking about the outside world. And I find painting in this way with speed paints and contrast and things like that can be very satisfying, because you don't have to put in hours and hours and hours of kind of wet blending and subtle shading and things like that. You get that sense of achievement with a lot less time input. So yeah, absolutely, get into the hobby. Shameless plug, if you're looking for miniatures, I have a 3D print web store, alchemistmodels.com, and there's lots and lots of things on there, including this model and others like it, so maybe you can find your first miniature there. Am I live somewhere else too? Yes, I am live over on YouTube right now. This is that's kind of where my main live and main content is, and I just have TikTok on at the same time. Mark, my Grey Tyranids are calling me. Amazing job so far. I look forward to seeing end results. Thank you very, very much. Tyranids-wise, there is actually on my YouTube, there is a Tyranids tutorial where I go through all of the paints that I use and the techniques that I use. So maybe that, it's a very specific hive fleet. It's the Leviathan hive fleet. And it's kind of like, if I were to do this hive fleet with these kind of paints, how would I do it? But you can use the same techniques to kind of transfer over to other hive fleets or whatever your colour scheme is. So maybe that is of use to you. Check out your seat. Yay! Cool. And there's lots and lots of models to come as well. I have a whole hard drive full of STL files and 3D print files that I need to list on the website. Leviathan is what you're doing? Oh, perfect. In which case, yeah, head over to the YouTube channel, and there's a little section called painting tutorials, which I'm slowly growing. I wanted to grow a lot quicker and a lot more, but the shop is actually doing quite well, so that's taking up a lot of my time. But yes, I've done a Tyranid, I've done Leviathan, and I did it with a Termagant. Termagant? Yeah, Termagant. But you can kind of use that same knowledge on pretty much any Tyranid. Once you've painted one Tyranid, you've pretty much painted them all. There should be in the description a paint list as well. Pillow. Imagine 9-inch nails made a cover of closer but involved potatoes. I have no idea about the words that you just. I know 9-inch nails. I know the word. I know the Closer is a film, and it's around a play, and they're both very good. And I also know what potatoes are. But combining them, I have no idea. Mash you like an early 2000s QTE scene in an action game. That is a pull. That is. I won't say it's obscure. It's not obscure, but you know. I have the same issue with the steering wheel in my trousers. It's also driving me nuts. God damn it. That's what's going to end me. It's going to be your puns that are going to. That's what's going to drive me over the edge. Drive me over the edge. Yeah. It was intentional. It wasn't intentional at all. Mark, I got half a box arrived Wednesday. I've built them all now just to paint. Half a box of what? Of Tyranids? Which Tyranids? Talk to me. Tell me. Okay, I think that's all the white pretty much touched up. And now we're just going to start shading the skin. So we're going to swap over brushes because this is the nice brush. Amy, thank you very much for sharing the live. Much appreciated. Got the Tyranid. I got the Leviathan Tyranid half. I did exactly the same. It's a very, very good box. So it's literally one of the models that I painted for that tutorial is one of the models that you have. Because I got exactly the same as you did. Right, I need my blending brush, which I think that's it. Yeah, which is an old Winsor & Newton that is complete. Well, I was going to say something, but I can't because we're on TikTok and they need safe, kind words, not mean words. It's an old brush, is what I'm going to say. Amazing deal on eBay. Only paid 66. That's really good. I think I got mine for like 50 or 60 when it first came out. From someone splitting down. That is great. You get so much when you split down the sets. Closer is a song that Nine Inch Nails does. Would you like to know if you've heard it? Would you likely know it if you heard it? I would probably know it. I've probably heard. I know of Nine Inch Nails, and I don't know songs, but I could go, oh yeah, it's Nine Inch Nails, or oh yeah, I've definitely heard this. So I've probably heard that song. Right, okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to use are we going to do green or purple first? Let's do the green first, or greeny yellow. I'm going to go over to quite appropriately called Maggot Skin. This is another speed paint. This is pale yellowish green. This is what I really enjoy about the speed paint bottles, is they tell you what kind of paint. You've got your name and you've got your picture, but that's not always accurate. But it tells you what kind of paint it is. That's really, really useful. I know on their Fanatic paints, they do that as well. Or they will be when it comes out. Didn't get the build instructions sent GWHQ an email, and they sent a PDF of the Leviathan book for it. Really? Nice. I just googled it. There's a Reddit page or a Reddit kind of group on Reddit that pretty much has a PDF of like photos of every single current release of GW's instructions. I just use those. But yours was much more efficient. I like that. Right, so we're going to use a little bit of maggot skin. We're not actually going to put on a lot of this model, a lot of this paint, and we're going to thin this down with a little bit of water. I'm not fussed about using medium at the moment because we're going to really thin it down. And into the recesses, we're just going to pop it in, and this will turn the skin slightly more diseased and unhealthy. Usually I'd worry about kind of tide lines, and by tide lines I mean when you use watered down paint and it dries and it leaves that kind of line there. But I'm not actually worried about that on this model when you're using this kind of thing, because you kind of want those bruise marks and those bruised lines to shine through and show those imperfections in the skin. Can you show off your mini holder? Yes, I can. So, this is a very, very high-tech and expensive mini holder. It's not, I lie. This is the most simple and cheapest thing you could ever do. This is a cork, any standard cork. Needs to be flat on both sides. And two 30mm MDF circles. You can just use bases, normal bases. And for me, it just, because I've got quite small hands, so it just fits really, really comfortably there. But I mean, you could extend it, you could do whatever. I don't have it to hand. Do I have it to hand? No, I don't. I do have a 3D print one that will be hitting my store very soon. I will start doing packs of them, but if you wanted something very cheap and cheerful, this is incredibly easy to make and very comfortable. And then there's just a little bit of blue tack there holding the model in place. Very, very easy to do. Thank you very much for all the follows and the shares, guys. That's incredibly kind of you. Thank you. Right, let's continue on. We're using maggot skin watered down, and we're just popping that in semi-random places on the model. And it's just, I mean, you can kind of see the difference between the chest and the stomach and the neck there in tones. And it's just making the skin look a little unhealthy. We're going to go in with, so this is kind of like the disease under the skin. We're going to go in with some purples to add some bruising in as well. And that will kind of change the tone of the model as well. Again, this model is available over on alchemistmodels.com. This is a Necrotic Barbarian. A diseased barbarian. They're quite early on in their stage of disease, so they're not as obvious as the Nurgle models from Games Workshop. They're a little bit more subtle, but it is part of a range from Parasite Collectibles, and all of that range is on my web store, including some demons and some other cool models. So make sure you check them out. I got a question earlier, I can't remember whether it was on TikTok or Instagram, whether I ship internationally. I do ship internationally, yes. There are a couple of exceptions to countries, but I ship to almost every country. And there's a flat fee for international shipping, so you don't need to worry about that. It doesn't cover the import fee at the other end, though, so you do need to bear that in mind. I've just realised I've missed a little bit of flesh tone there that this isn't quite covering. There we go, that's better. Where do you ship from? I am based in the UK, so I ship from the UK. Okay, so that is the maggot flesh that we've put on. What we're going to do now is we're going to add some of those bruises in. So we're going to grab a little number. I like to call Volupus. No, not Volupus pink. Magus purple. Now this is a Citadel contrast. I've put it in a dropper bottle because I prefer dropper bottles. They're much more useful for what I do. You can control how much paint is coming out onto the palette. So we're going to shake that up a little bit. We're tiny. We're not going to use a lot of this. We're going to use less of this than we did for the maggot skin. And we're really going to water this down because this can be quite powerful. So really water it down, and then if there's any scars on the model, any obvious wounds, this is where I'd usually put it on. If not, we can just create kind of bruising, and we can build this up in layers. This I will try, because it's quite powerful, I will water down and kind of ease out any blending lines. So I'm a little bit more mindful of that than the maggot skin. There we go. You can just see it kind of seeping into the recesses there. And I'd usually put this around the where any armor meets the skin, because it also acts as a general shade as well. Pillow, are you still there? Are you still in chat? put it around the top of the greaves there, or the knee pad. What's knee armor, mate? What was knee armor called? Because I don't want to call it a pad, because it's not a pad. It's really metal and horrific. This is why I wasn't overly fussed of doing the white touch-up earlier, because I knew this was going to happen. We were going to go all over, because I'd rather just kind of stipple it on at this point. Make sure there's no obvious marks that look like it's paint rather than bruising. There we go. We got a little bit of a line here, but we're just going to tease that out because it's not quite dry now. There we go. So I think that's pretty much all of the skin done for now. We might add some Volupus pink in later for some really aggressive bruising and damaging and things like that. But just 3 paints and you can get a lot of tone in your skin. What music can I listen to? I've got a chill out. Can you hear it on the TikTok by any chance? Can you hear it? This is just a chill out mix that I've made on Epidemic. I've got an Epidemic license. A bit, right? Yeah. It's going through my main speakers, so that's the only downside to watching my content live on TikTok is I can't run the music through the app, unfortunately. And I don't want to turn it up too loud because I've got surround sound and it'll blow my head off. But if you wanted a better view and you to actually hear the music a bit more, then head over to my YouTube channel. That's where I'm streaming mainly at the moment. And you'll be able to get a better view and hear some cool music. Nice chill music. Right, okay, I need a little bit more purple around. I'm running out of this purple just at the right time. We're going to put a little bit on that hand there. And I think we're just going to do a tiny bit of blending. There we go. I think that's all. I think that's all I want to do skin-wise. So, what do we do now? We're going to go back in with the white. We're going to swap over to our nicer brush. We're going to swap... Oh, hello. Swap back to the white paint and we'll just do touch-ups and then we can start on the armour. Have you ever made chest set with these? You are not the first person to ask. I was actually working on... Where is it? I was working on this guy here last week, and these would work really well as chest set pieces. To the point where I might actually throw together a set and have them as chest pieces, because I think that would be really, really cool. I'm just printing out some orcs, but there's also some undead, and they work quite, because they're quite characterized. They would work quite well as chest pieces. So yeah, I'm debating. I might just go through my files and see what I've got, go through the various products, and just make chest sets. I think that would be quite cool. That'd be quite nice. Right, that was something I finished painting on the last stream on Monday. Let me just go grab my white paint. Again, this is Monument Hobbies Pro Acryl Bold Titanium White. Very, very good paint for touch-ups. And we're just going to go around all the armour and all of the armour and the robes and the rags and straps and things like that. Thank you very much for all the follows and the likes and the shares over on TikTok. Much appreciated. That helps push out the content to new people. Ben Fetchin painted a dwarf from Luke Studios. Got the idea to paint his hair beard light blue from you. It looks great. Fantastic. Have you got a photo of it? I'd love to see it. I feel free to either tag me on social media, on Instagram, or it's probably the best is Instagram, or I have a Discord channel where people share their work. The invite link to that is in the is in my link tree in my bio. You should be able to find it there. Do you have video of your setup? If not, that would be really cool to see. You say it would be really cool to see. I mean, I can show you now. Hold on, let me just really quick impromptu view. Have I got anything that you can't see, that you shouldn't be able to see? No. Okay. It's really not impressive. It really isn't. So there's the setup. There's the webcam for YouTube. We've got the arm for the phone, and then there's the setup. There's the painting setup, and then all the well, no, this isn't all the models that I need to work on, but there's a lot of the models I need to work on and finish and things like that. So this is my painting and streaming space. You die to have that many paints? What about that many paints? I've been very fortunate. The community has been very kind for me and gifted me a lot of paints. Oh, I like my own live. Oh well. Right, there we go. Okay, so we're going in with the white paint and continuing to just touch up. And then I don't know how I want to do the armor yet. I'm not sure. Do I want to make it metallic and then tint it, or do I just want to make it... Ooh, metallic and tint it would be cool. That would be cool. Or make it quite rusty, actually. Rather than green armor, should we just make it like rusty and then add in bits of green and bile? And because I can use the old... Oh, where is it? Nurgle's Rot, that technical paint. And we could put that over the armor and over the straps at the end. I think that would work quite nicely. Ben Fetcham, which dwarf did you paint? Is it the one that is in the starter set? The welcome pack, sorry, from Loot Studios. Loot Studios do some fantastic models. They were some of the first models I printed when I got into 3D printing. And they have continued to impress with their really, really nice sculpts. I've got one file from them that is like a long-term dream to print and actually make a coffee table out of, also, or a piece of furniture is the giant turtle with the castle on the back. I kind of want to make that and then have a coffee table over it. Thank you very much for all the likes and shares over on TikTok, much appreciated. Feel free to come over and watch the content over on YouTube, where you have you can hear the music a little better and you have better access to cameras. And you can also see my face, should you choose this. Howdy Max, how's it going? Okay, just that skin looks so good. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, this was only 3 paints, and it was working with just a lot of washes and speed paints. Actually, there were contrast paints in there as well. I'm not too worried. I'm just kind of taking the worst of the overpaint, because the colours that I'm going to use to paint the armor and the straps are very good at covering touch-ups in their own, or overspills in their own right. So I'm just taking the harshest lines out. But if there's a tone underneath that's just bleeding through, I don't mind. If anything, I prefer it because it's going to add to the overall feel of the model. Still waiting for that mini to arrive. It should be here next week. Which is that from me? Which mini? Is that from me? Or what did you order? Okay, right. Where do you purchase your models from? This one is actually available on my web store, on my own web store, alchemistmodels.com. I have a 3D print store, and this is one of the models that you can buy. Comes in a set. HeyDKD85, thank you very much for the subscription over on YouTube. Much appreciated. Hang on, my camera's slightly in the wrong place. There we go. Right. I was here on stream not that long ago, and I talked about ordering a mini from a TikToker. Oh, yeah. You said you were having slight issues with it? Am I remembering that correctly? I apologise if I'm not. My memory for such things is pretty awful. Okay, so what are we going to do? What are we going to do for this armour? I think I'm going to... Ooh, if I use Aztec gold and get... No, I don't want to give it gold armour. Do I want to give you metallic armour? I don't think I do. I want to make... No, okay, right. Gravelord Grey it is. And then let's rust it down. Let's make it quite matte and neutral. Just that you worried about it wasn't going to arrive, which I still am, to be honest. Yes, I remember this now. Hopefully it will. Hopefully now. Have you got a tracking number, or have you contacted the seller? Was it through something like Etsy? Because if it's through Etsy, they are very good at... Oh no, you said through TikTok as well, didn't you? Okay. Maybe contact the seller. They haven't given you updates? Oh, it was on Etsy? I mean, if it's through Etsy, if it's a 3D print, basically everything on most things 3D print wise on Etsy, or just in general, are made to order. So I have a general manufacturing from order to dispatch is 10 days, 10 working days. Which may seem excessive for if you're ordering one tiny model, but if everyone orders one tiny model, time adds up. And there are times where I am just kind of twiddling my thumbs a little bit because I'm just waiting for the printers to finish printing. So it is always worth bearing that in mind. That being said, if there's been, you wouldn't necessarily get an update, to be fair. Oh no, hang on, I don't want that. I don't want it that colour. That's going leather. So have a look at how long their manufacturing time is, or their dispatch time is, and then go from there. I don't mind when people are like, hey, where's my model? Where's my order? I don't mind people messaging me at all, because I don't think when you buy something on my Etsy that you get an update. You don't get you get an order confirmation, or you should get an order confirmation, but you don't get like a constant update until it's actually dispatched. Can I ask what printers you use? I use Elegoo Saturns, first generation. Old school Elegoo Saturns, and I think they're absolutely fantastic. This was printed on an Elegoo Saturn, so and I don't. I would love to upgrade them at some point. I don't feel the pressing need to. A lot of the quality you get with 3D printing is actually with the file and not the printer, and how you dial in your resin settings. And I've got mine dialed in pretty well. It was about 2 to 3 weeks, I think. 2 to 3 weeks. Unless it was like a massive order, I'd say 2 to 3 weeks is... that warrants a message. So I think it's worth contacting them in that respect. If you've had no dispatch, actually, even if you've had a dispatch, then I would say contact them. And if you contact them and they give no response, which could be for any reason, maybe a lot of Etsy shops are independent sellers, and sometimes life does just get in the way for whatever reason, and it might be something out of their control. I'm trying not to assume, but if it does go down that route, you can just get a refund from Etsy, and they are very good at siding with the customer. That shouldn't be a problem at all. So we're just using Gravelord Grey, and this is a very, very watery paint, so we've got to be quite careful with it. But it does mean that it automatically flows into all the recesses, which is quite useful. This is one of the paints that I was saying earlier that goes on quite light, especially on TikTok camera. You can see that is incredibly light. This will dry much darker. You can see it drying that darker there. Have I got an example of this to hand? No, I don't. Oh, yes, I do. This is a model I started painting. I'm actually doing this for TikTok. TikTok, don't worry. She's clothed, but you can see that dark. Actually, you can see it better on the back. This dark grey is exactly this colour, so it really does shade down when it dries. I'm just going to add a little bit more in so it sits into the recesses a little bit. And because of the style of model, that it's going to be rusty, it's going to be kind of damaged armour, or it is damaged armour, I'm kind of stippling the wash in, so I don't mind if it's not a smooth transition between parts, because I want that damage to be there. These are resin prints. Yes, these are resin prints. So this is UV resin, and I use a resin from Jo or Sunlu. It's pretty much, well, it is the same company. It's exactly the same resin. Ooh, hang on. Is that what is that? No, I think that's just damaged armor. And this is ABS-like resin, so which is a little tougher. The issue with 3D printing when it first came out, resin-wise, is a lot of the resin was very detailed, but it was incredibly brittle. You drop it, and it would just shatter on the floor. This is ABS-like, which means I could drop this, and I'm fairly certain it wouldn't break. This is quite spindly, this spear, but it's got a little bit of bend to it. You couldn't really do that with other older resins, like non-ABS resins. It wouldn't have that give. So for gaming purposes and just general life, this is I feel like ABS is the better choice. For like high quality casting and masters, then yeah, you'd go for whatever resin would give you the highest quality, and then you'd make sure you look after the model, because you wouldn't be using it on tabletop. But for like everyday use, then I'd go ABS. Okay, we need a little bit of metal down here. I can tint the metal afterwards, so it doesn't need to be all grey. At the end of the day, this can be gold, it can be bronze, it can be silver, it can be whatever. Just need to do that foot there. This boot. There we go. Make sure we get the whole boot. And are there any other metal sections? We've got a couple of chains coming down from the, I want to say belt. It's not really a belt, it's a loincloth, I want to say, maybe. So we'll very carefully just put a coat of this over those. I'm looking forward to rusting this armour up. Hello. Oh, my OBS disconnected, but reconnected. That was weird. Hopefully that didn't mess up the stream too much. Okay. So those bits of shading are sitting quite nicely in either side of the helmet, which is helping push the front part into our I can't remember the words that I was going to say for that, so I'm not going to. We're just going to trail off in an awkward end of a sentence, middle of a sentence. Oh, it's Friday. You know what I mean. Okay. Oh, God, it's going to be a long weekend of driving as well. Okay, so that's all the silver done. We've got, or the metal done. We've got these little studs on here, but I don't want to do these bands silver. I want to do them leather. Oh, wait, no, do I? Maybe I want them as like gold bands. Yeah, actually, I think I do. So we're going to do those as well. I need a little bit more paint. Tiny bit more. And where did I start? Here. But I think we're just using the Gravelord Grey to give the initial shading. For the overall colour, I'm going to do these bands in a gold, but I think I'm going to use Aztec Gold, my favourite gold, because it's got a green tint to it, and I think that would help this model overall. Thank you very much for all the likes and follows. Almost at 3,000 likes over on TikTok, so thank you very, very much, everyone. If you're enjoying what you're seeing, then please do consider coming over to the YouTube channel as well. I do also have a Ko-fi or a coffee, or however you would say it, link there in my bio for those of you who are feeling incredibly generous. And all of the money from that, all the donations from that, goes to either directly back into the art or the business, or just pays my bills, because this is my full-time job. This is what I do. So if you have any questions about anything I'm doing, then please don't be afraid to ask. Right, we've got one last band that's kind of half obscured by this vambrace. I think that's... Oh, we've got this chain that I've completely missed. There we go. I think that's it. The bone on the shoulders, that's going to be a bone type colour. Did you buy or print them? These are printed. This is printed and it's available on my web store. So this is actually one of the products that I sell. And I wanted to print it up because I absolutely love this model. There's 5, well actually there's 5 that I sell, but I think there's 9 in total. I might do an expansion pack for the ones that I don't have listed at the moment. But I really enjoy these sculpts. They're from a sculptor called Parasite Collectibles, and I backed one of their Kickstarters a while ago for a commercial license. Okay, so what are we going to do? I feel like we need to go back to the white, retouch up some bits, and then go in with some browns and some leathers, so we can do all these wraps and things like that. I think for these kind of wraps around the leg, these are going to be like a beige colour, and then we're going to have like a dark brown for the loincloth and a leather for the vambraces. Do you Zenithal Prime or Slapchop? I do neither. This is just a white undercoat. I think both Zenithal and Slapchop have their uses, but I prefer to, especially when I'm working with skin tones and working with contrast and speed paints, I feel like you have to have a solid white colour to start with. Otherwise, it looks odd to me. Right, I need a little bit more white paint. Where's the model from? It looks cool. It's very cool. This is from my web store, alchemistmodels.com. It's one of the Necrotic Barbarians. They come in a pack of 5, and you can find it over on there. It's sculpted by Parasite Collectibles. I'm just going to touch up a little bit of Gravelord Grey just went onto the skin, so we're just going to use it a bit of white and blend that in. And then we're going to go over any of the Gravelord Grey that went onto the wraps, because that's going to show through quite significantly when we start putting the browns on, especially things like the what's it called, hardened leather, because that's quite transparent and you see those tide marks from the grey underneath. Which paint did I use for the skin? I used 3 different paints. The base coat was Peachy Flesh from Speed Paint, and then I threw in a little bit of bruising and disease type colours using Maggot Skin from Speed Paint, and then Magos Purple from the Contrast range, Citadel Contrast range. So we're just going around and touching up. I'm not being too crucial and too critical with bits where it's like multi-toned, but when there's quite a violent line like there, that's where I'll go in and just correct it. And then we'll do the same on the horns. Because sometimes with blending you can get away with subtle tonal differences, but if it's just a straight up like horrible line when you're working with quite transparent paints, that's when you need to go in and correct it. Because it will definitely show up underneath. Yeah, there as well. So there's another example. Come on, focus phone. There we go. You can see around here. So we're just gonna touch that up. And just get rid of these harsh lines. I'm not going to worry about the weapon too much at the moment. There we go. How do you get the paint quite thin? I always find mine is super thick. So with speed paint and contrast, they are more, they're described as highly pigmented washes. So they come out very, very thin. I'll show you with my palette here. This is, I haven't watered this down at all. This is straight out of the bottle, and they are very, very thin. Yeah, but they're highly pigmented, so they tint the white undercoat. That's why I'm working with a white undercoat. It wouldn't work with a black undercoat. While we're doing this, we will just touch up the skin. So, and then you can water it down further should you need to. If you're doing like blending, which is what I was doing with the Magos Purple and the Maggot Skin, just to kind of affect the tone on the skin to make it little bruised and diseased. Just use standard Citadel colours. Yeah, so that would just be your typical acrylic paints. If you want to thin them down, just use a bit of water. And thin to your heart's desire until you get a consistency you're happy with. But with these, yeah, they're specially designed. Nurgle Champion, this is a Necrotic Barbarian, but it could be a perfect proxy for a Nurgle Champion, absolutely. Okay, so what we're going to do is... What are we going to do? We're going to go in with... Oh, there's two... I can't... It's tempting to just do like one coat all over. But there is actually 2 different fabrics here. So we're going to go in with hardened leather, and then we're going to repaint the straps because they're a different colour. So a little bit of hardened leather. Oh, hang on. Just seen. That's going to show up massively through the hardened leather. So we're going to put some white over that. And just touch that up. Make sure we're not missing any other pieces. I think we're good. Oh yeah, a little bit there. There we go. Literally painting miniatures while watching you paint miniatures. Fantastic. Paintingception. Love it. What are you painting? What are you working on? Right. This is going to be hardened leather. So with the overall colour palette with this model is going to be a lot of browns, a lot of browns, a lot of greens with occasional red, and I think red's going to be the spot colour in this. Have a whole unit of goblins I need to paint for Warcry. Nice. I've heard good things about Warcry as a game. I've never played it. I really do like the models though. There's very few models for Warcry that I don't like. I think the sculpting for that game is on point. Components for a game you're developing. Ooh, are we allowed to know what kind of game? Ooh, hang on. That's just gone over onto the skin a little bit, so we're going to water down and just fix that. There we go. And speed paint. Yes, this is speed paint. This is specifically hardened leather at the moment. I'm going to have... There is going to be green on this, but we're going to throw that into the skin and the armor, really. It's tempting to go like vibrantly green with the armor. Now that we've shaded it with the silver, it doesn't have to stay that color. We can use speed paints to tint it. Wet Noodler. I don't have the time for large 1,000 point games, so Warcry is great at keeping it under 15 rolls. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. To be fair, I've only got excuse me, one fully painted like army. I do enjoy kind of skirmish size games for that very reason, actually. Okay, so we're just going around the back of the loincloth with hardened leather. Just catch up on chat. Do you thin your paint with water or medium? I start using speed paints, but got stains always. I don't, unless I'm blending it. Like with the skin, I was using purples and greens, and I thinned the paint down then. But when I'm just like putting it on normally, no, I don't thin it. I just make sure I've got enough on the brush so it doesn't start drying while I'm still working it. Would you recommend speed paint only used Citadel Army Paint and War Paints before? Yes, I would absolutely recommend speed paint. I sound like I'm sponsored by them. I'd love to be, but I'm not. This is just my personal preference. I love using speed paints. I love using contrast. They are different, and you need to approach them differently. Like contrast are a little thicker. Speed paints, they will run away from you quite easily while on the model. But yes, I can absolutely recommend. They're a very different way of a very different type of painting to normal acrylics, and I think that's what some people had issues with when they first came out, when this kind of painting style first came out. kind of game system like Heroscape, stackable tiles, etc. I'm still working on the storyline. Intriguing, intriguing. I look forward to seeing it develop. Have you got a name for it? Or is that tightly under wraps? It feels like that should be a thing that you keep tightly under wraps. Okay, I'm going to try and do this so I don't have to repaint these wraps. So we're going to try and be quite careful. It's the advantage of using a very nice brush that holds the point while working with very watery paints, which in my experience is quite rare to find, so it's nice to have this brush. Have to do a little bit of touch up. Dark Frontier, good name, good strong name, strong name, like it. I wish you all the best in your game development. Thank you very much for all the follows and the likes over on TikTok. Please feel free to come over to the YouTube channel. I will, in about 20 minutes, I will stop streaming on TikTok, but I will continue until 6 o'clock over on YouTube. So you got about 20 minutes left of me on TikTok, and then if you want to continue watching, you'll have to head over to YouTube. I've just started this stuff. I got told I have to water down paint to use a brush paint. Why? I mean, you don't have to. First of all, there is no right way to paint miniatures. Let's get that out of the way first. You can paint them however you want. You will find that with certain paints they become easier, and you get a better coverage when you water them down and do multiple thin layers, so you'll get a smoother finish with the model. But some people prefer not doing that, so it is all up to personal preference. I use paints that don't need watering down at all because they're washers. They are tinting the undercoat. That's why I'm painting from white. Working storyline using 3D Builder to make minis and playtesting at the same time. My head's going to pop. That is a lot to put on yourself. I have ideas and plans for my own games, but I managed to do like quick sprints every couple of months, and then I will realise that I don't have the time, and then so I'll go back to them at some point. But yeah, they you definitely need to kind of focus on them. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Right, I'm slightly off camera on YouTube. There we go. Pontus Pedersen? Pedersen? I butchered your name. I'm sorry. Thank you very much for the sub on YouTube. Thank you. Skirmish level. Skirmish level's where it's at. Big war games. I mean, big war games are making a comeback. But skirmish games with kind of a low buy-in cost are always going to do well, I think. Recently, like a good example of that would be things like Moonstone. Historically, things like Malifaux and Infinity. Infinity, you don't need a lot of models. However, they are priced quite high. But they are gorgeous sculpts. Wait, no, that's the wrong colour. That's the wrong colour. I wish that all of Infinity's models were resin and not metal. Actually, if Infinity, Corvus Belli, if you're watching this stream, which you're not, but if you're watching this stream, please release your models as STL downloads, because dear God, I'd buy a lot of them. If I could 3D print Corvus Belli Infinity models, my god, the printers would not stop. Let me just catch up. Hi, I've been doing model World War II airplanes and tanks for a few years. Wanted to start doing miniatures, but not interested in the game side. That is perfectly fair. Loads and loads of people out there have no interest whatsoever in the gaming side of things and just pick up models. And there are so many models out there, especially with 3D printing. There's actually more models than game systems now. Like this model isn't for a specific game system. Like this isn't from Warhammer or anything like that. This was from a Kickstarter from a company called Parasite Collectibles. I picked up the merchant license because I like the models, and I sell them. And that's it. They are cool models. You can use them for game systems, miniature agnostic systems. You know, you could use this for Warhammer if people weren't worried about using official models, or miniature agnostic games like one-page rules. But at the end of the day, it's just a model, and it's cool. I'm old, so skirmish games are just about where I'm at. That's fair. That's fair. Right, is that white still usable? Ooh, just. Okay, we're going to put some water in that and just thin it down to make it a bit more usable. Pontus, for speed paint, would you recommend the starter set or most wanted set? Difficult one because I can't actually remember what's in each one. I was very fortunate and very lucky to have someone in the community buy me the complete set for my business, and that was incredibly kind of them. I'd say actually let me check. I will check what's in the most wanted, and I'll check what's in the starter set. I'd say probably the most wanted, because that will be the most popular paints and the most useful, the most utility paints. Things like Gravelord Grey, things like Blinding Light or Holy White or something like that, and then your prime colours, and then maybe some metallics. So out of the two, I'd say go for the most wanted, because Army Painter are pretty on it when it comes to good sets. Okay, so where are we going with that? I want this kind of belt thing to be a slightly different colour. What are we doing? That's going to be beige and cream. Is Vallejo good for miniatures? Vallejo is a fantastic paint brand. I won't say the issue with Vallejo, something to consider with Vallejo, is there are so many variations of Vallejo paints. You've got the model colour, you've got the game colour, you've got the model colour, but it's specific for military vehicles. You've got the express range, which is their version of speed paint. And then you've got all the technical stuff, and then you've got X, Y, and Z, like so much stuff. So it can be quite daunting, I think, when looking at Vallejo. But yes, that is a fantastic company. I wouldn't say range of paint. I would say it's a fantastic company for paint. Right, I think there's a hair or something that's just... There we go. Come here. I've got a hair that's dried in with the undercoat. And it's been annoying me for the last 10 minutes. Get off the model. There we go. Problem solved. Well, Jet, nice work, sir. I gave you a follow, by the way, a few videos on TikTok. Check them out. I will. Thank you very much for coming and hanging out. We'll see you soon. Right. Okay. So I'm just touching up the final bits of the under leather, and then we're going to go in with the I don't know what colour to do this. I'm not sure. Maybe like a dark brown, possibly. Yeah. Thank you very much for all the follows and likes. We have smashed 3,000 likes over on TikTok. I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you. Right, I'm going to go in with... What are we going to go in with? I can't do Bony Matter. Howling Sand, maybe? Pale yellowish grey. Yes. Yeah, okay, let's do that. What's the YouTube account? It's Alchemist Models. There is a link in my bio. There should be my Linktree bio, and you can find it through there, or just Alchemist Models on YouTube. You'll find me. I've got some tutorials on there. I've got one hobby talk up there because I have fallen behind, but I have got another one coming out soon. The script is written. I just need to film it. Okay, so we're using Howling Sand on these wraps. Hopefully it will be dark enough. We might need to do a couple excuse me, a couple of coats. I hope you've all had a lovely week. You join me on a Friday where we're having a chill out stream. It's 5:20. So TikTok, you've got me for another 5 minutes or 10 minutes. And then I will stick around on YouTube for another half an hour after that. So if you want to continue watching the stream, I suggest heading over to YouTube. Should you be inclined, drop me a subscription. And you have better quality video, you can listen to the music, and you can see my face should you choose to brave that concept. I think we're going to do a wash. I think we'll do an overall wash with Rattling Grime, I think. Ponta, so as being new to your content, could I get a quick introduction on you and what you do? Yes, you absolutely can. So, I am Alchemist Models. My name is Jamie. I started Alchemist Models technically it's been around for a while. I started it as Alchemist Painting. And then when I moved into 3D printing as well, I turned it into Alchemist Models. And I started streaming. I was over on Twitch during lockdown because I quit my job 2 months before lockdown, or a month before lockdown really, with the idea of getting back into the entertainment industry. I trained as an actor, went to drama school, and I used to act quite a lot. I've now moved into directing theatre as well as this. This is my day-to-day job. I've been in the wargaming hobby for just over 25 years now, and I've worked in the industry through various things and various companies, various game shops and things like that. So I kind of wanted to do my own thing. I work on commissions, I work on dioramas. It's something that I'm very interested in doing. You can see examples of my work on my social medias, on Instagram, on TikTok and things like that. And I started 3D printing a couple of years ago, and then opened a web store, and it's going to this day. And I made the move from Twitch, because I'm really not a fan of how Twitch treats its creators and how much it takes from like that 50-50 split is horrible. And the community is absolutely great over there. I've made some wonderful friends. But I wanted to work on some more evergreen content. And so I started the YouTube channel. And I am slowly growing that. I'm about halfway there on watch hours for monetizing it to joining YouTube Partner. Which is very, very exciting. That's the next big step, is to hit YouTube Partner. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I create tutorials. I mainly work with contrast and speed paints. That's my medium. That's what I really enjoy doing. sometimes that is met with, oh, it's not real paint, oh, it's cheating, oh, why are you doing that, it looks rubbish, I hate speed paint. To which I say, alright, fine, don't watch the content. There are some people that absolutely hate speed paint and this kind of painting, but that's fine, it's not for them. I am a strong believer in making the hobby as accessible as possible, and I feel like speed paints and contrast are a good way of doing that. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's like the rapid fire version of what's happening and who I am. If you've got any more questions, please do ask. Let me just catch up on chat on TikTok. Recently got Star Wars Legion. Any tips on painting miniatures? That is first of all, welcome to Star Wars Legion. I play Shatterpoint, so it's a slightly bigger scale, but I have painted Star Wars models. That is a very, very wide question, though. So, what in specific? Have you got any specific questions, or just general how to get started? Heard you can mix distilled water. Sorry, I just ate some paint and it tastes disgusting. Hang on. Ugh. Okay, yeah, grim. Right. I heard you can mix distilled water with paint to thin it. When I do, it bubbles. Not compatible. That is very strange. I have no idea why it's done that. What kind of paint is it? What kind of paint? Thank you very much for the share on the live. Much appreciated. Julie, thank you. I enjoy Warhammer, but the dudes who work at the official shop here are insufferable. I like speed paint. Yeah, I haven't been into a Games Workshop, or it's now Warhammer shop for quite some time. I used to be a regular at my local, and used to do the kind of gaming nights and things like that. I admit, going into gaming stores now produces a level of anxiety that is not worth it, and I never I don't buy from Games Workshop if I can help it, unless it's something I absolutely must have, but most times there's not. So yes, I totally get that. How to get started, I suppose. Sorry, is that from Evie? Right, okay, yeah. How do I get started? How to get started in miniature painting. I should really do a YouTube video on that. I would say the first thing you should learn with miniature painting is there is no right way to do it, and that is I'm a firm believer that miniature painting is art. Art is for everyone, and there is no right or wrong way to do it. If someone looks at your model and gone, "Oh, you've done that wrong," tell them to walk out the door. Because it's if you've enjoyed it, take criticism if asked for, but yeah. So I wouldn't worry about doing anything right or wrong or anything like that. The second thing is, if you haven't bought a model already, then just walk into a hobby store or go online and find a model that you like the look of, that you think is cool. The rule of cool is very, very important to me in this hobby. So don't worry about whether it works well in the game or what other people think. If you like that model, you get that model, and then just go from there. Pick up some paints that go well with the box art if you don't want to do your own thing, or if you want to do your own thing, then just go nuts. Just throw paint at a model, and unless you are a prodigy, then you will look back on your first model in years in years and years of time and go, wow, that was awful. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Have fun, enjoy it, learn from other people, but don't compare. That's another thing, is don't compare your work to other people. Let me just catch up on chat. Look at undercoating your models. Spend time at cleaning your models. So if you get a 3D print, there will be support marks and tiny little supports that you can clip off and work with a a sharp scalpel carefully, and a file. Clean them up really, really nicely, and take your time when cleaning a model, because there's nothing worse. I mean, you can see it here actually. There was a mild print fault in this model. So this line across here, I'll use my paintbrush because that's much smaller than my finger. This line here is actually a fault in the print, and I've cleaned it up a little bit. I could have cleaned it up a little bit more, and it's fine. I work on the principle. I can get away with it because I can blend it in with the paint job. But for something like that, I wouldn't have sent that out to a customer, for example. I picked this, so I was like, yeah, it's fine. I can work with that. That's okay. I don't mind that. I wouldn't send that out to a customer. Any Tau videos? Not yet, but they are coming. My painting tutorials, I have fallen behind on them. I am intending wholeheartedly to get back on that wagon. And yes, I kind of want to have an archive. The end goal, or like a continuing goal for the YouTube channel, is to have a painting archive of, oh, you want to do a paint like a Tau Fire Warrior? Cool. Here's my version of Tau Fire Warrior using speed paints and contrast paints. You want a Dark Angel? Here's my version of Dark Angel. Ultramarine. Here you go. Here's Tyrannid, Leviathan. Here's a Necrotic Barbarian. That you can look at a paint job and you can just look at the thumbnail, go through that and go, I'm looking how to paint this kind of bit of leather or this bit of armor, so you can just grab a quick video and go, okay, how did you do that? So there will be more videos coming soon. Sorry, I'm catching up on chat, guys. Only local paint is Revel acrylic paint, bubbles and leaves horrible finish. I would say I wouldn't recommend Revel paint. They are older paints. They are much better suited for kind of things like Airfix, but even so, I wouldn't use Revel. Revel enamel paints were like back in the day. I don't know what their acrylic stuff is, but I've never heard amazing things. So that might just be the paint that you're using. I might be completely wrong. People might get on with them really well. Yeah, I've never heard Revel acrylics being talked about in like, this is a paint you should use for miniatures, if I'm honest. So that might just be the paint, not the fact that you're using distilled water. Random question: favorite place to go on holiday? I went traveling around Europe when I was younger for 2 months, and on the Interrail. And my favorite place that I went to, one of my favorite places, was Montenegro in the Bay of Kotor. Kotor? I think it was Kotor. And in general, the that kind of area. Also, Italy. I love Italy, and Venice is one of my favourite places. I'd love to go back there. I've got a fond fascination with Venetian masks. I said earlier that I trained as an actor. I now do directing, but I also run an acting with a mask workshop, finding character through mask. I really enjoy making masks and working with them. So getting to visit Venice, and I actually interviewed and went and chatted with one of the last traditional mask makers in Venice, in a shop and a workshop called Kamakana, which was awesome. He kind of led me through. I've just completely mixed those paints. Hang on. He led me through the techniques that he used to create masks, which was fascinating. Steve Hood, I think Games Workshop is overpriced. Model online store I use much cheaper. Yes, I would agree. I think if you're gonna buy Games Workshop models, support your local gaming store. They'll always be cheaper than getting it from Games Workshop directly. And there's lots of different models out there. You know, if you're not working or not playing in like official tournaments, you could use this as a Nurgle, whatever they are, Plague Warriors. I can't remember what their official name is, but You could totally use this, I think, for Warcry or Age of Sigmar or whatever. Thank you very much for all the follows and the likes, guys. Much appreciated. Recommendations on paint and travelling these days seems dangerous with everything going on. I think it depends on where you travel, but yes, I agree. Recommendations on paint: I use Citadel Contrast and Army Painter Speed Paint. I mainly have used Speed Paint on this model, and I really enjoy working with this type of paint. It's very different to normal acrylics though, so bear that in mind. Hey, that's awesome. Thank you very much. Thank you. I hope you're all having a lovely day. It is 17:35, so it's 25 to 6. So I've gone over on TikTok. So if you want to continue watching the stream, come over to YouTube, Alchemist Models on YouTube. You can find me there. And I'm going to continue streaming for the next 25 minutes and get a bit more work on this model done. If you're not coming over to YouTube, then thank you very much for hanging out and chatting. And I will be streaming next on Monday. And I don't know, we might continue working on this model, or we might try something else. I don't know. But TikTok, thank you very much. You've been awesome, and I will see you soon. Bye. YouTube, you have my undivided attention now. Hello. Where's my phone case? There we go. How are we, YouTube? What is up? Right, okay. I think that's all the leathery type stuff done. I'm going to throw some... I'm going to throw some bone colour, I think, onto these horns. I'm going to use bony matter, the same paint that we used for the skull here. I don't need a lot. We'll put it on fairly thick, and this is another one of the paints, another one of the Army Painter speed paints that goes on quite light and then dries a lot darker. So, but even with that in mind, we're going to put it on quite thick. So we've got a nice chill out, just over 20 minutes to go. I won't be finishing this model. I don't want to rush it. I'm quite enjoying painting it. Just going to take our time and enjoy the process. But I'm very, very happy with how it's coming together at the moment. I'm going to do another one of these at some point and kind of do it in a very John Blanche-esque, a Blanchitsu style, with lots of reds and creams and blacks and that kind of style of painting. So I've never actually done like a pure John Blanche style model. And I feel like I can do it on this one, on a model that like this style. It's very kind of fantasy grimdark. Right, we're going to throw some... actually, there's a little bit of bone that I've missed on the skull there. There we go. Okay, we're going to throw some wood. I've got a dark wood colour here, and we'll use that on the spear shaft. There you go, speed paint dark wood. Be very careful about that wrapping that we just did. And very careful about the finger, or the hand in general, the fingers. There we go. That's that bottom part done. We've just got the tiny bit round the very bottom. Let's make sure we've got a nice point on the brush. There we go. And then we've just got the top to do, just above the hand. There we go. Welcome in to anyone who has joined us recently. Thank you very much for coming and hanging out. I hope you're enjoying a nice chill stream on a Friday. End of the week. I hope you've had a lovely week, whatever you'll be doing. If you have any questions for me, then please don't be afraid to ask. Or just sit back and enjoy the music and enjoy the painting. I'm not entirely sure what I want to do about the base. I'm thinking maybe we put some snow effect and ice on this base. That could be quite cool. I think my dog's being excited that it's being fed at the moment. I just need to touch this wrapping up a little bit. There we go. I think we are going to put an overall wash, like a thin down wash of rattling grime, just to blend everything together. I quite enjoy doing that, is painting everything individually and then using a kind of dark wash just to blend it all. Stephen Hurd, hey, you just came over from TikTok. Brilliant. Do you do dragon 3D printing? As in 3D printing dragons? Is that what you mean? There are a couple of dragons on the website, and I have the files for more. Depends on what you're after. Yajari! Hey Yajari, how's it going? How was the wedding? How are you? Welcome in. Right, okay, there's like hair. Ooh, I think this is just going to be black. I think I'm just going to use a black Templar. Yes, okay, yeah, so there are a couple of dragons on the website. One of which is actually from Parasite Collectibles. Actually, now that you're here, I can show you. So let's go over to the website, browse.by designer, Parasite Collectibles. Okay, so boop, here's the website. Here is Parasite Collectibles. Those are the Necrotic Barbarians. The one that I'm working on is that one there. And then one of the dragons that I've got is this big boy here. Serifadax, there we go. And he is big. Like, he is 256 millimeters tall from the bottom of the base right to the top there. He is a chunky boy, hence the price tag. There are other dragons as well. I don't know what else I've got. Have we got fancy monsters? Got anything else in here? There's two dragons from this range from Hexy Studio, but I don't think they're up yet. No, they're not. But they'll be coming very soon. Actually, I just need to print them out. Any more dragons? I don't think so. Off the top of my head, not large scale. I've got some small scale stuff that will be scaled up. There we go. Right. It was glorious. It was a good wedding. Cool. Good. Glad you had fun. About that Dragon Alki, I have a favour to ask. Ooh, okay. Intriguing. I'm very intrigued. Right. Using Black Templar, and we're just going to put this on. I'm assuming this is hair. It feels like it's hair. Be very careful not to get this on the bone colour. I actually have. There's the newest load of Parasite collectibles. So the previous one was kind of based on Plague and was very kind of Nurgle-esque. The next one is more based on the would be very, very similar to Zench and Change Demons and things like that. And I think there is, I don't think there's like specifically a dragon in there, but there is definitely things with wings. And that's very cool. And I will be listing those as soon as I get the files. I'm just waiting for those to be released. We'll do so in DMs. No worries, no worries. Okay, I'll take a look afterwards. But also, I mean, in general, for 3D printing, I do run a custom 3D print service. So if you have the file of a model, but just want it printed, you can send it to me for a one-off print. And basically, you send that to me, I will load it up, I'll give you a quote, and then if you decide to go for it, then I'll print it out, send it over to you, and then I delete the file from kind of like a sharing point of view. I don't hang on to the files. Belle! Hey Belle, how's it going? Welcome in, how are you? Oh, I need to touch up that armour. Battling a nasty cold. No! No! How long have you had it for? How's yours? How am I? I'm good. I don't have a cold, fortunately. But yes, I am good. Oh, something I mentioned earlier, now that we've got new people in, is this Sunday, so in 2 days' time, I am going to be guest appearing on Iron Warrior Cosplay's YouTube channel. And we're doing I think we're doing a Q&A. I'm pretty certain. So I don't have a definite time for that, but it is going to be Sunday afternoon, around 2-3 o'clock roughly. I will put details as soon as I know in the Discord, and up on social media and various things like that. So keep your peepers peeled for more information on that one. But yeah, I'm driving up tomorrow, staying with some friends that I haven't seen for a while, and then going over and spending the afternoon with Iron Warrior, which is very fun. Right, okay, how are we doing on time? 12 minutes. So, what are we going to do? We're going to... Do I do the wash now? And then start with details? Yes? Yeah. I think I do the wash now and then go in with details. So we're going to go use Rattling Grime. How were your days with Hedgehog? It was awesome. It was awesome. We got so much gaming done. I realised after I left, I didn't win a single game. He flattened me every single game. But I had so much fun. We played a couple of games of Star Wars Shatterpoint, and we did a Halo game of one-page rules at 15mm, because we've got a Halo army each. No, he didn't even let me win once. We watched an ungodly amount of Godzilla film. No, ungodly? We watched 2 Godzilla films. 2? It felt like more. We tried watching one, but... Flim's a grease tube alky. What? Why? What? Why? Why? Why am I getting things flung at me? Yeah, we watched Shin Godzilla, which is it's very good. The first 20 minutes are infuriatingly slow, but then it speeds up. You wanted to grime your mini. Oh, god damn it, Yajari. Merlin! Hey, Merlin. 20 minutes is not that bad. No, it isn't, but it felt like... That 20 minutes felt like an hour. The first 20 minutes of Shin Godzilla are whore down there long. Grease transforms to grime. Yeah, I know. Oh, right, yes, I do. Awful. Awful. I'm so aggressive. How you doing, Merlin? Thank you very much for all the likes over on YouTube as well. Thank you, guys. Going to be watching the new Ghostbuster film in about an hour's time. It is already out. Oh, sick. Cool. Okay. All right. Yeah, that I really enjoyed Afterlife. I found that was quite fun. So I'm intrigued to where they go with this one. Right. Grime. Grime now? Yes, grime now. Commit. Commit to the bit. Water down grime. Put it on the model. Commit to the bit. And then... put it on the armor as well. Oh, do I do it on the skin? Do I do it on the skin? Do I grime the skin? There's no going back after you do that. I think I will. Get the bastard sword and make a cloud attack pose to attack Aoki. Wait, what? Why? Why? No. Draws irresponsibly long katana and poses as Sephiroth. As sweet-ass music starts playing. Your move, Yajari. On a sad note, though, Wednesday will be a pretty rough day. Oh, no. Oh, now I feel bad. Why? Why? Merlin, am I right? Been doing mold line tidying on some Bretonians for full tilt. I've primed 3 of them so far. Full tilt is the jousting game, right? That looks so much better. The grimed legs look so much better. He's trying to herd you. Bailey. He wants fuss, but he wants fuss in his space. You adorable hound, you. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Yujari. Tifa head bonking? I'm very confused about. I'm not a Final Fantasy player, so like, I know who Tifa is, but head bonking? Huh? But yes, I'm very sorry to hear that, Yujari. It's very sad. I hope it goes as well as these things can. Herfist, your head bonk. What? No, that's so aggressive. So aggressive. What did I do to earn such aggression? Alright, rattling grime. At least take me out for dinner before you beat the crap out of me. Okay. Grime. Put a little bit more grime maybe on that corner. There we go. I'm not going to translate that, but the rest will do for you. But now I know... Hang on. I mean... Fast shoot. I'm not going to say it because I don't know what it says. Okay, hang on. I'm going to Google translate it. Give me that. Give me that. Google. Give me that. Google Translate. What? I mean, translated it still doesn't make sense. I think I. Yeah, no, I'm. You lost me. You lost me. It's a German flying word. What's a flying word? What's an English flying word? What? I'm so... I swear, Yujari, you boggle my brain sometimes. So confused. Right, we're going to do some rattling grime around these chains. What's a flying... I'm so intrigued to what a flying word is. Mission successful, confuse the owl key. You didn't even have to put the German in there. You could have just said flying word. I'm like, well, I'm confused now. No idea. No idea. This is still a thing confusing it. Yeah, it was never, like Yajari says, it was never not a thing to confuse me. Yeah, I'm perpetually confused. It's just a constant state of mind. Oh my god, I love griming models. That sounded okay. You know what I mean. Not doing the rollouts. No. It's a chill out stream. No, YouTube has got a different vibe to the Twitch stream. I've kind of moved away from the manicness that was Twitch. I over here I wanted to do something a little different. I have less views because of it, I think, but that might just because I'm on YouTube, you know. But yeah, the chilled out. I've done my mental Twitch phase. Oh, enjoying a bit more chilled version of streaming. How do I put it? It's a series of words that have a meaning different to what they actually say. Oh, yeah, alright, I know what you mean. But what does that have to do with... Are you saying that I'm teasing myself? I feel... How... What? Was that your way of getting around the family friendliness of this stream? We call them Geflugelt's wart? Not gonna lie, I see the word wart, and all I can think of is the elites from Halo going wart wart. That's how my mind works. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Germany. Up your German. Ijari is well aware that my German is awful. Wart is word. Oh, okay. Wart. Does that mean all the elites are going word, word, word. I feel like that's a thing. I am absolutely abysmal at other languages. I feel awful for it, and yet I there's nothing I can do. I've tried to learn other languages. I mean, not very hard, but no, I'm awful at languages. I had private tuition at school for my Spanish GCSEs. Private tuition with a family member who understood how my brain worked, and I still got an awful grade. And I legitimately tried. I just suck at languages. If there was one thing that I wish I was, if I could just like flip a switch and be better at something, it would be learning languages. Because I am forever in awe of people who know and can pick up languages like really quickly. I absolutely love that, and I wish I was one of those people. German had a consonant shift compared to English, so every time a German writes a T, you can certainly put a D in there when it makes a sentence. Oh, okay, that's interesting. All right, that actually helps quite a lot. Thank you. Yeah. This is where Yujari takes on the mammoth task of teaching Alki German, which I feel like you've tried, but you've been doing for a bit. I appreciate the effort. It's just a brave choice, a brave task to undertake. I'm also very slight topic shift. I'm very jealous of everyone over at Adepticon at the moment. I even looked at flights for next year, but it's too early to book flights that early. I was looking at prices, like roughly how much is that? Would that cost? It's affordable. And then Merlin comes in with Welsh, which will just completely throw me completely. Completely throw me completely? Oh my god, yeah, it's 6 o'clock, I should stop. Let me just grime up the rest of this armour. Noun equals nomen? Pontus, so I've had a look and might purchase the most wanted speed paint set. I also have my eyes on the game Conquest. Conquest models. I was actually at Games Expo, UK Games Expo, when Conquest was first being released, and I was showcasing a game. I was showcasing Carnivale when I worked at TT Combat, and the guys at Conquest, I can't remember what, the Parabellum is the company. They were next to us showcasing Conquest, and they had an amazing table. And gave me one of their very early kind of promo models. I've got it still. It's still on the sprue. I haven't done anything with it. But long story short, Conquest models are sick. They're really cool, and they've just gotten better and better. I admit, when I first got the sprue, I wasn't overly impressed. But having a look at their models now, damn, they are cool. An Orc War Boss riding a feathered T-Rex. Yes, I'm in. Sign me all the hell up. Merlin alt. Okay, med. Just throw in the next language I speak. Hang on. All right. Okay, I'm gonna guess. Dutch? Maybe. I don't know. Danish. Is it Danish? It begins with a D. Ah, that was pretty close. I mean, it's in Europe. I'm bad at languages. I'm sorry. I was close. Right, it began with Y and it began with D, and it was in the same consonant. For me, that's pretty close. Right. Shading up this. I love the slight warm tone that Rattling Grime gives. It's in Europe. Australia is in Europe, according to you. No, it's not. How dare you? How dare you? Christ, you forget where one country is one time. And you're never allowed to forget it. Okay, just a little bit down the bottom there. I want to give... I'm not actually going to put any grime over this middle bit, so I want to keep the head... Oh, maybe I'll do a little bit, actually. We'll get rid of most of it, though. Yeah, there we go. That's nice. I want that central part of the helmet to be quite bright. And then we'll put a coat on the spear. But we'll take most of it off on the sharpened sections. And then we'll put Australia is in Eurovision. I mean, you're not wrong. Australia, I'm sorry. Australia had a banging song last Eurovision. Absolutely insane. I will hear nothing against it. Oh, you were born in Denmark, Ujari? See, this is the good thing about this is the real downside of living in the UK is the fact that you're an island and you don't have an opportunity to just go to other countries in the same way that European countries can. And the languages in this country, in the school sense, are not taught very well at all, I don't think. The only Scandinavian language no one understands is Finnish. I would argue that I don't understand a lot of Scandinavian languages. In this country, England, he means Wales is fine. Yeah, as soon as I said it, I was like, oh, Merlin's going to pick this apart very quickly. Right, let's just... But no, I really wish that I was better at languages than I am. Alas, 'tis not meant to be. Okay. I was going to do some shading on the skin. Maybe... Alright, I'm going to try something. I may regret this. I'm going to put some like shadow shading, which is I know there's a dumb concept, but here we go. And there's a little too much water on the model at the moment, so I might have to wait for that to dry before I do the next bit. Alquist presents slappable face. How dare you, Merlin? How dare you, sir? so many countries do language education better than England. Cool. All right. I just want to touch up that base because I'll be doing a video of this afterwards. So I just want to make it a little presentable, and then I will call it a day because it's going to be a long weekend and I want to chill out for tonight. Oh, so actually I need to go and pack some orders because they need to be sent off first thing tomorrow. Okay. Next week is Easter, Aoki. Is next week Easter? Really? Holy crap. Yeah, it is. Wait, really? Oh, next Sunday. Next Sunday is Easter. Oh, crap. Yeah, I had no idea. That's how little I pay attention. Yeah. Bank holiday Friday and Sunday next week. Bank holidays have never meant anything to me. I'm self-employed. They don't mean anything. I mean, even when I wasn't self-employed, that didn't really mean anything. Right. Okay. There's the model so far. I'm really happy with how he's coming along. Actually, he's nice and grim. I like it. I like it a lot. The armor is going to go green, though. It's going to be tinted green, I think. And then a nice ice base, I think, like a snowy base. Friday, Monday here. Sunday is always holiday anyway. It's a long weekend. That's cool. Yeah, four day weekend. 4-day weekend. Right. Okay. That's me done for today. Thank you very much to everyone who's come and hung out. All the regulars, all the new people, welcome in. I'll be back on... Well, no, I will be back here on Monday. But on Sunday, I am over on Iron Warrior Cosplay's YouTube channel. It will be in the afternoon. I'm not entirely sure exactly what time. Keep an eye on social media, keep an eye on the Discord, and I will let you know when I know, I guess. If you're watching this as a VOD, thank you very much for watching the VODs. I appreciate it. Thank you. And thank you all to you all for continuing to support the channel. If you haven't already, drop me a subscribe on YouTube. And I'm hoping, I said it was going to be this week, I'm hoping to get another YouTube video out next week, which will either be a tutorial or a hobby talk. I've got the hobby talk script done, so I might do that one instead. Either way, have a lovely evening, whatever you're choosing to do with your life, and I will hopefully see you in Iron Warrior Cosplay's chat on Sunday, which I think is going to be like a Q&A type deal. So if you've got any burning questions that you've always wanted to ask me or Iron Warrior, then that is the time to do so. Anyway, I will see you soon. Adios.